Planet Dolan.
What could Earth have 90% less of in just 100 years? Why are scientists concerned that every man-made satellite in orbit may be destroyed? From future weapons to doomsday prophecies, here are 15 of the most outlandish, and yet still very possible, predictions for the future. I'm Melissa, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 15. The Sahara Desert is a barren wasteland of sand where very little can grow or live. But about 12,000 years ago, it was full of lush greenery. One of the side effects in climate change is an increase in rainfall in desert regions. The Sahara is already seeing signs of this, and it may continue even further in the future. Number 14. There is a lot of hype surrounding artificial intelligence and machine learning, in which computers and machines have been able to exhibit human-like learning. But lost in that are growing attempts to augment existing humans. In the future, we are likely to see not only biomechanical augmentations to human body parts, but also ways to actually augment human intelligence itself. Number 13. Currently, there are 6,000 languages spoken by people worldwide, but a century from now, it's possible that most of these languages will have disappeared. At least one linguist believes that only 600 languages will be spoken by 2115 thanks to globalization and mass migration. Smaller, lesser-known cultures will struggle to survive as the growth of larger world cultures absorb and fracture them. Many native languages are already dying out because of colonization. Number 12. We've already seen things like the euro and Bitcoin begin to unify currency across national borders. Much to the chagrin of the currency trading industry, the possibility of a unified worldwide currency seems very likely. Now, it may not be the only currency in some regions. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin have learned to coexist with nationally approved currencies, and it's likely that these currencies and others like them will continue to gain prominence in the future. Number 11. Human casualties have always been one of the primary truths of war, but by 2025, the United States military is expected to have more combat-ready robots than actual human soldiers. We've already seen a huge boost in the number of unmanned drones used in military operations, but we should see several more ground-based combat robots in the future.
Come quietly or there will be trouble.
Number 10. Of all the predictions for the future, this is the one you've likely heard of the most. We are thought to be reaching a tipping point for global warming, where the process will begin to feed itself, as humans will be unable to reverse it. As areas with permafrost continue to melt, they release more and more greenhouse gases into the air. Eventually, that process will become self-sustaining, and cut back on emissions will no longer be able to slow the process. Number 9. On the other hand, there are a number of conspiracy theorists around with the idea that scientists are looking into ways to control the weather, with the intention of weaponizing it in future military conflicts. Some believe the US military already has atmosphere-altering weapons at its disposal, but there's no hard evidence to support it. Number 8. Humans are now taller and have bigger heads than they did just a few hundred years ago. So what happens thousands of years from now? Some scientists speculate that we will have alien-sized heads, giant owl-like eyes, and a darker skin pigment to protect from increasingly harmful UV rays. Number 7. We're already seeing this. Factories are becoming automated, and digital kiosks are replacing fast food workers. The automation of simple labor processes is well underway, but automation is beginning to affect customer service jobs as well. It's reasonable to assume that industries will figure out how they can replace humans with robots.
The fare is 18 credits, please.
Sue me, dickhead.
Number 6. Privacy is harder to maintain now than it has ever been before. Now that everybody with a phone is a walking video camera, it's rare for something to happen without photo or video evidence accompanying it. Satellites are better able to track our locations than ever before, and cameras are getting smaller and easier to hide. At this rate, privacy is going to be a thing of the past. Number 5. Antibiotics were a medicinal breakthrough, and have helped doctors fight diseases that were once thought to be unbeatable. But the antibiotic era may be coming to an end. An increase in antibiotic-resistant germs have raised fears that antibiotics may have numbered days as effective medicine, and that our reliance on them may be aiding in the creation of untreatable superviruses. Number 4. There are a lot of satellites orbiting the Earth. With traffic in orbit becoming more and more congested, there is more chance of 2 of them colliding, creating what's known as the Kessler syndrome. When this happens, the 2 satellites will shatter into thousands of pieces. Those pieces will remain in orbit, and any of them could hit and destroy other satellites. In the worst case scenario, this could create a snowballing effect in which not only the Earth's satellites are destroyed, but our orbit becomes so full of debris that it's impossible to launch any new ones. Number 3. Scientists are just beginning to figure out the uses for algae and seaweed as forms of biofuel, nutrient-rich food, or even environmental foods. As a result, it's very likely we start seeing aquatic farms start popping up all over the world. The speed at which ocean farming can grow nutritious food, and the fact that it doesn't require land, means that we can see a huge increase in these farms, and in ocean-farmed food, in the coming years. Number 2. One of the biggest threats in the future is the possibility that diseases are used in warfare. Many of those on the forefront of global health have pointed out the disastrous consequences of a bioterrorist attack, and the fact that we would be woefully unprepared to fight back. An outbreak like this could kill as many as 30 million people in a matter of months. Number 1. So many of these predictions have been full of doom and gloom, but the good news is, the clean energy industry is right on the doorstep of a breakthrough. Many tech experts, including Bill Gates, agree that renewable and clean energy will be available on a mass scale within the next decade or two. Wind and solar energy are becoming more efficient and stable, while new forms of sustainable energy are on the cusp of being usable. We may soon have a world where electricity is cheaper, cleaner, and more widely available than ever before.
What? Danger Dawn, did you know that we have a countdown book featuring some of our best scripts on sale now? Links down below for the physical and ebook versions.
Thanks for watching! Catch you guys next time!